Well, welcome guys, thanks for checking out this video. This is Jay from rightsprite.co.uk, and if like me you've been following on the Sony PlayStation news recently, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. So as you probably already know, they wanted to originally close the PlayStation P, the PlayStation V and the PlayStation 3 network store. So basically you won't be able to access that store at all, but only download the games that you originally purchased. And also later we found out they wanted to try and cancel any of the updates that apply to the game, and that didn't really settle well with the fans. So things like basically getting your PlayStation 3 to play the game how it originally supposed to play, by getting those updates we won't be able to access that, but we can still play the games from the disc. But anything that you purchased at all for the PlayStation 3 you can actually download, but anything new, any purchase at all, you won't be able to do so. So that did actually spark a bit of an uproar with the PlayStation fans, as we did also have some bad news as well with the cmos batteries. If you guys don't already know, basically the PlayStation 3 had a little battery inside, much like the beloved Sega Dreamcast and a lot of other consoles. They have a little battery inside just to save the time and some basic BIOS information. You will also see these in like computers. I remember these back in the day with my PC, and if your actual data and your BIOS was actually completely wiped, it's just basically the battery was dead, so you could easily pop in a new one. Now it is different with the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3. I'm not too sure, I haven't really opened one up to find out where they installed, but if that actually dies out completely, and it says around about 8 years life, you won't be able to access any games, and the PlayStation 4 will just become a brick. So we won't be able to play any games either from disc or DLC. So people have already tried this out. I can't remember the name, I did recently come across this, but a guy actually bought a brand new PlayStation 4 and then he took out the battery just as it was brand new, and he wasn't able to actually play any games from a disc or any games from a downloadable service. So basically they're saying if the battery goes, you basically got a brick. But hopefully, because of these news that I'm going to try and pronounce later, they may be able to update this so the PlayStation 4 can still carry on playing games with that the battery actually dead. But the PlayStation 3 console, if that battery dies, you'll be still able to play games via disc, but nothing that you've downloaded. So it's been a bit of a crazy roller coaster ride, but now the actual president and CEO of Sony themselves has actually tweeted out a nice little tweet regarding that he wants to restore and apologize for any of these services, and they want to actually carry on providing the actual PlayStation Network service for all of the previous mentioned consoles. Now Jim Ryan, the actual president and CEO of Sony, has actually tweeted out just the day of making this video, and he has stated that he wants to restore and actually keep the PlayStation Network going for all of the previous mentioned consoles. So that is pretty much awesome news, I would say. But let's have a look out now what the actual tweet says. So he basically says, okay, I've heard you loud and clear. We will not shut down the PlayStation Network store access for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita this summer. You can continue buying all of those classics. Now let's go into the actual blog itself and see what he has more to say on this. So PlayStation Store on PlayStation 3 and Vita will continue operations. So I think that's pretty awesome news. So let's have a quick look. So he says, recently we have noticed players of the PlayStation Store for the PlayStation 3 and Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it is clear that we've made the wrong decision. So today I'm happy to say that we are keeping the PlayStation Store operational for the PS3 and the PS Vita devices. The PSP commence functionality will retire though on July the 2nd of this year as planned. So there's not much support for the PlayStation P, but I think everyone's been kicking off mostly because of the PlayStation 3. There's still a lot of fan base with that system, and of course with the Vita actually cancelling, and there were games already to be announced and to be put on the network itself this year, so a lot of people were upset with that. He goes on and says, I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting edge new game worlds for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and the next generation VR. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. We are always listening and appreciate the support from our PlayStation community. Now, what I gathered and understood from when they actually cancelled it because of what they wanted to do with the PlayStation 3 and then move on to the PlayStation 4. Basically, they're using a lot of resources and they want to try and put more effort into the PlayStation 5. So if you actually deduct any financial support from the older systems and they look at the numbers and there's not many people or user base with that, they will actually take that service away, so they actually put that money towards the PlayStation 5 or even the PlayStation 4. So if they can actually manage to financially juggle this, I think it's pretty great. But hopefully, as gamers for the PlayStation 4 and the new gamers for the PlayStation 5, we won't be losing out on any further experience that we could have had if they decided to cancel it. So that's just one worry about it, but I think that's actually supporting a lot of gamers and supporting a lot of you guys out there. So guys, this is very interesting news, and as I said at the beginning of the video, it has been a bit of a roller coaster, but I do think personally this is pretty awesome. But hopefully we're not losing out on what they can financially do for the PlayStation 5. They're not like Xbox, they don't have a bottomless pit of money, but with PlayStation they want to try and give you the best experience and try and keep everyone happy. So I think this is good, but of course I am interested in what you guys want to say about this. I think as PlayStation fans we have been tossed around like a ragdoll, but it's glad to hear that they are listening to the fan base and they're actually doing what the fans actually want. Now this doesn't show us that they actually are listening to us, but hopefully they'll be able to amend that CMOS battery, especially for the PlayStation 4. So this is just some quick news I just wanted to share with you guys. As a gamer myself, I do actually do a lot of other videos regarding newer games for older consoles. So I think now that you hear from the CEO from PlayStation still want to support the older consoles, I think that's great. Perhaps they may go ahead later on and support some backwards compatible emulation. That is just finger crossed. That's just personally a big thing I would love to see for the PlayStation 5. But anyway, that's just my little input from a little YouTube channel from myself. And as always, as I end my videos, if you'd like to hit that button, it will help support, click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.